Hi, and welcome to another episode of Healthy Food, Happy You. I'm your host, Gina Lewis, and if you have become the victim of the SAD diet, also known as the Standard American Diet, this show is for you. We're going to be talking about preventing common ailments, even reversing type 2 diabetes and cancer in some cases. And today on the show to talk about just that is Aaron Mottley, certified holistic health consultant and author of The Obesity Myth. You're not overweight, you're overwaste. Welcome to the show. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you for having me today, Gina.
Absolutely. So what are we going to start off making for our viewers today?
We're going to start out with cabbage salad, which is a very simple dish, but using a very dynamic food that quite often we overlook as far as our food intake, because the properties of cabbage are so phenomenal. They help with weight loss. You talked about diabetes and what have you, which is precipitates from having excess waste in the body. So the cabbage helps facilitate cleansing the entire intestinal tract and getting us on our road, returning back to phenomenal health.
I love that. I think a lot of people realize cabbage is like a fat burner, a lot of people use it in those fad diets.
Yes.
But I can't tell you the last time I actually bought this at the store, and it's kind of an unknown. Like, what do you do with it? How do you make it taste delicious? So you can show us how to do that today, right?
Yes, I can. And it's very simple. Just using, your general food, herbs and what have you, onion, peppers, a little bit of salt, seasoning, and so on and so forth. You can really make a very dynamic dish that I call cabbage salad.
All right.
That's very simple and easy to make.
Well, let's do it. Where do we start?
Well, we start by cutting our cabbage in half.
Just kidding.
And the thing about cabbage that is really phenomenal is when you cut it open, you can see it actually looks kind of like the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're using purple cabbage today because the purple cabbage is extremely dynamic, and with the added color, you get added nutrients.
It's beautiful. I love the color, and the smell is amazing too.
Yes, I love it myself. Okay, we're gonna start here by just shredding this thinly for the salad. And also, I know most people are familiar with coleslaw, which is a form of cabbage salad, but we're gonna go more in the salad realm because we're not gonna add a bunch of things similar to coleslaw. We're going to add just some basic stuff. Like I said, the lemon, the onions, the peppers, and also a bit of lime.
Okay, he makes this look so easy, doesn't he?
Well, kinda.
Kinda. So is there any trick to cutting it? Just keep going around the edges?
Yeah, just keep going around the edges and getting closer and closer to the center. And then when you get to the core, what I like to do is slice it at an angle.
Okay.
So that when you get to this part, you can really make it kind of thin and help it. And this actually has a kind of a peppery taste.
Can I try one?
Right?
Yeah, thanks.
It kind of spices up the dish all on its own.
This would be really good for just a snack.
There
just
you go.
Raw snack.
Yeah, cabbage stalk or cabbage stem sticks, I guess you could call it. So I'll just sprinkle on some of the salt because it's going to start the flavors to awaken, and it's also going to begin the wilting of the cabbage.
And you prefer sea salt for this?
Sea salt is the ultimate salt. It's the only salt that we should be using.
Really? And
the reason why is because there's so many nutrients in sea salt, and the white table salt that we consume actually contributes to a lot of diseases and issues.
I believe it. I will admit that my husband at dinner time gets the table salt and says, your body needs salt, so he just dumps it all over his plate. Like, I don't think it needs that kind of salt or that much salt. I will definitely be grabbing some of this and eating it as a snack.
Could you hand me that onion, please?
Sure.
And
this
also,
is a beautiful onion.
Yes. I love red onion. Again, the color just accentuates the entire
This is so
dish.
good.
I'm going to just cut this in half, and then I'm going to ask you to juice this for me, or squeeze the juice.
Sure.
It's very juicy.
This is the juiciest lime I have ever seen. So what led you to choose this dish for our show? You mentioned the cabbage is full of health properties.
Cabbage does so much within the gut that it helps facilitate health. In some of my presentations, I've talked with folks who've had family members suffer from Alzheimer's, and that comes about because of chronic constipation. And cabbage is so phenomenal because it helps allay all of that.
Now, is chronic constipation the only cause of Alzheimer's, or?
No, but it's a major contributing factor because when you have plaque in the colon, quite often you wind up with plaque in the brain, which is one of the aspects of Alzheimer's.
That is so interesting because I knew that chronic constipation caused things such as colon cancer and all kinds of other cancers and ailments, but Alzheimer's, I was reading something you had submitted to our show that talked about there are two types of nervous systems in the body, the central nervous system and the enteric nervous system.
The central nervous system is our brain and our spinal column, which everyone's fully aware of.
Sure.
But then we have our enteric nervous system, which is the nervous system of our gastrointestinal system. And they're connected by a vagus nerve. And it allows the gut to inform the brain how to function based upon what's going on inside the gut.
The health of the gut.
Yes, so if the gut is not intact, if you got plaque and what have you, then and there's no probiotic quality there, then the brain is going to get what we call brain fog, which is basically a precursor to Alzheimer's. So that's how it basically just plays out over time. So we want to keep the gut clean, allow the probiotic quality of the intestinal flora to continue to make those wonderful vitamins, the B vitamins and what have you, which we need for energy and brain function and so on. So that's basically how that works.
So this dish came about because you were designing something that would help clean out that nervous system, the gastrointestinal nervous system.
Yes, most definitely. And again, with the intestinal flora, you want to keep those functioning in order for everything to function adequately in the brain. I like to say B for brain. When you talk about B vitamins, they are so, we get them in foods, but we also produce them in our intestines. But when our intestines are coated with plaque, that doesn't happen so readily. So we want to keep that clean in order to be able to have those B vitamins not only created but used in a very dynamic way. Again, I say B for brain, and we need B vitamins for energy as well. So that facilitates quality brain function so that over time we don't have to concern ourselves with brain fog, dementia, Alzheimer's, and all of those things that people are troubled with later on in life.
Yeah. How often do you eat this?
Well,
or how often do you personally try to make this dish?
This is one of my staples, actually. I eat like an entire head of cabbage a week. I have a formula where, it's like for the first 150 pounds of body weight, which I'm like 155, you eat one full head of cabbage per week. Okay. And that keeps everything flowing.
One full head.
One full head. So this is a half a head, so this would probably last me 2 or 3 days. And then I would continue on with the last half.
And again, it's a great snack or lunch or so wonderful.
I'm glad you mentioned that because in my book, I actually have a chapter I call The Art of Snacking, where you make dynamic dishes like this.
We all need to learn about that.
Yes, you make dynamic dishes like this.
Yeah.
And then you would just store small containers in your fridge, and you would grab several different containers of, dishes like this, maybe guacamole, tabbouleh, other little small salads and what have you, that when you put them together, they're so dynamic to the palate. And I've had folks who ask me where's your restaurant? And it's very simple. I mean, what did I put in here? 6 or 7 items and what have you, a little bit of salt.
And it really smells just so good. I cannot wait to taste the finished product.
There's nothing like live food. When you make this dish, you want to let it sit out. You can cover it, let it sit at room temperature and begin to really meld together all, the onions and so on and so forth.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
What's next? We're going to grab our olive oil and our coconut milk and the rest of our ingredients. And we're going to
spices?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, sit right there, enjoy this special segment from Kids Music Club. They did this awesome song called Junk Food Blues. I can't wait for you to see it, and it's so cool to see our future generations being inspired to eat healthy. We'll see you in a bit.
Sounds great.
Eating cotton candy. tummy ache. Birthday party pizza, all the slices I can take. I got the junk food blues. I got the junk food blues. Oh, I got the junk food blues, and I don't know what to do. Sitting in my classroom, Skittles on my mind, snacks shared on the playground have really got me down. I got the junk food blues. I got the junk food blues. Oh, I got the junk food blues, and I don't know what to do. Time to eat some healthy food. Nutrition is the key. Food that's high in calcium, strong bones are what we need. Vegetables are good for me. Mom says it's so it's true. But I can't get snacks off my mind. I don't know what to do. Broccoli and carrots, spinach, fruit and rice. Does that come with pizza? 'Cause that would be real nice. I got the junk food blues. I got the junk food blues. Oh, I got the junk food blues. Help me cure the junk food blues. Junk food blues. I got the junk food blues.
Back to our beet cabbage salad, and we are spicing it up.
Yes, we're going to add our olive oil, our coconut oil, and could you kind of grind some of those
Sure.
peppers on there for me? Then we're going to mix it all up and then just let it sit and do its thing.
I like how your grinder has a cover on it. So is there like a too much or too little?
It's all about taste. You know, whatever satisfies your palate. It's never
This
too much
is just
pepper
really
for me.
fun. I could just keep going. Is that good?
That's good.
Okay,
and
perfect.
we're going to add our coconut milk, and then we're going to toss, and then we're going to let it sit and do its thing, and we'll,
It smells so good.
dig in a little while.
Yay. So what spices did you throw in here?
Well, I've put in the salt and pepper. Now we're going to add some oregano seeds, a bit of coriander, and also the crushed red pepper that just enlivens everything.
Okay, so we're going to use coriander, red pepper, and oregano seeds.
Oregano seeds. Oregano seeds are very unique. They have a pungency, a pepperiness, and they really are dynamic as far as the health is concerned. And you only need a little to really get the benefits of, you know, all of the oils and what have you that are present in the oregano seed as well.
This is beautiful. I cannot wait to try it. So we're done here.
We're done here, and we're going to start on the beet salad shortly.
Okay, well, we're going to take a small break, get ready to make our beet salad, and we'll
Yes.
see you back in a sec.
Okay.
Now that we've made our cabbage salad to help get the digestive system going and our metabolism revving, we are going to be making a beet salad with Aaron Mottley. So I see you've got one beet done.
Yes, and we're going to go ahead and peel this. And while I do that, why don't you squeeze half of that lime and a portion of half of that orange so we can get right into this.
Sure. So there aren't many ingredients for this.
No, again, simplicity is the key.
Love it.
It's a little messy.
I'm starting to smell this lime, this
Okay, I think we've got enough
mint
beets.
too.
Yeah, it smells really nice.
Show me how the pros do it. That smells so heavenly. Now, cabbage is good for the metabolism, energy, getting the digestive system going. What's the beet salad do for us?
The beet salad, again, all of your root vegetables are good for probiotic quality. And if you notice the redness of the beet, which lets us know that it's full of iron, and it's also good for the blood. And the shape of the beet, we talked about the plant signature before.
Yeah.
The shape of it is similar to the heart. So it's very good for the heart. Let me put in a little onion here, just a little, not much, because this doesn't require a lot of onions to bring out the flavor of the beets. Then we're going to add our olive oil, our salt, our pepper, and we're done.
That's so easy. If I can remember the ingredients
Oh, and
to
of course,
both of these.
Our juices as well.
Juice. If I can remember the ingredients to both of these recipes, then we know we've got a good recipe.
And it doesn't take much. And thank you. You did such a wonderful job juicing. And it doesn't, just salt to taste, not much.
And it looks gorgeous too. This would be a great dish for a party, summer party or something.
Grind in some peppers.
Bridal shower, baby shower, great party dish.
And it's very tasty.
It looks really flavorful.
And you can even blend it together with your knife. Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Get this out of the way.
Let's clear this side so you can get a good look
Oh, that looks so
at
good.
how it all comes together.
Well, we are going to meet you back at the table. Stay tuned for this public service announcement from our friends at the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, PCRM, and we will see you at the table with Aaron Mottley.
Thank you.
For years, scientists have explored remote corners of the Earth, searching for exotic substances that might help prevent cancer. At last, man has discovered a secret place where powerful remedies can actually be found. Medical research shows that a vegetarian diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains can help prevent many types of cancer. Wherever you live, cancer prevention is as close as your grocery store. To learn more, call 866-906-WELL.
We're sitting here with Aaron Mottley, certified holistic health consultant and author of The Obesity Myth. I cannot wait to try this cabbage salad and this beet salad, and if I could just share this smell with you at home, it is so delicious. And he even juiced this for us today. Yes. What is this?
That's a combination of carrot, celery, beet, and sweet potato juice. Cheers. Cheers
to many more TV shows and continued success with your book and your consulting.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your book, The Obesity Myth. You're not overweight, which I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear. You're just OverWaste.
Well, it's kind of a play on words, but it also meets people where they are. No one wants to hear that they're obese. So, it's kind of like when you hear that, it's like, no, that's not true. So it's a myth as far as you're concerned. And it really is, because it's not so much the weight. We're always concerned about weight. Mm-hmm. But the weight that we're actually concerned about is the weight of accumulated waste in the body. And that waste actually creates disease by causing tissue and skin cells and so on and so forth, all of the organ tissue to begin to break down. And when each of those breaks down, we have a particular disease that we name that, when the kidneys break down, we call it renal failure,
right,
and so on and so forth.
So how is your book broken down? Because one thing I love about you is that you break everything down so simple that anybody can understand, and it just makes sense. It's like, why didn't I get this a long time ago? Why didn't somebody say as simple as this?
Well, the O&E principle, again, oxygen. So the first, actually, let me say this. This is a 3-book compilation transformation manual. So there's 3 books in there, and each of them help you along your way of transforming your body, your mind, and your spirit toward optimal health. The first book is entitled Breath Mastery, because we want to master the breathing process. The second book is called Biodynamic Nutrition, because we want our food to be very dynamic and enhance our life and our life living properties. Mm-hmm. And then the third book is entitled The Internal Fitness Series, which is a series of movements that I put together using the principles of Tai Chi, Qigong, and some movements from athletes, martial artists, and what have you, that really enhance health. And we tie the breath with those movements to really get at keeping energy flowing throughout the body and keeping the core, nice and slim and trim, so you don't have to worry about that accumulated waste and toxic buildup that facilitates disease.
Exactly. This is kind of a gross topic, and I have something to admit, but I was doing a fitness segment one time, and I was eating just pure junk. I'm a skinny person, so I was like, no big deal. I can just eat whatever I want. And on that show, I noticed that I was much thicker than I typically was. So right after that show, I started eating raw vegetables, fruits, as healthfully as I possibly could. And within a week, because obesity is not something you lose that fast,
Right.
but those collected toxins
Yes.
can really be pushed out of your system fairly quickly.
Yes.
So you can lose that waste just by eating healthy.
And the way that works is basically with all of those fresh enzymes, they basically go in and they break down a lot of things that are in the gut already. The way the body works is we chew our food, it goes through the digestive system, enzymes break down the food and puts the good things where they're supposed to go, and it helps remove the bad. And if you have things that have accumulated, it removes that stuff also. Again, I mentioned plaque earlier. So when we activate the intestinal flora, we bring in good, clean enzymes very dynamically. It just keeps things moving, including that stuff that's accumulated. You probably lost about 5 pounds in that week, right?
Well, I think it was closer to 8, and
Wow.
I lost an inch, so my clothes were fitting better. It was just amazing how I slimmed down, and it wasn't fat that was gone. It was the waste that had
Yes.
just built up inside of those, those foods that just don't digest like they're
Right.
supposed to.
Right.
And in your book, you talk about excitotoxins, I think is what it's called.
Well,
Excitotoxins? How do you say that?
Excitotoxins.
Excitotoxins.
And basically excitotoxins of chemicals like MSG, aspartame, and what have you. And basically what they do is they stimulate the brain to the point where cells get damaged and they actually die off. So these are things that we really want to stay away from, so as to maintain good quality brain health.
And when you eat at restaurants, your foods are laced with MSG, and they aren't required to tell you what's in your food, and it is unbelievable how many chemicals
Yes.
go into those foods.
And it comes in so many different forms and so many different additives that it's kind of an overlapping and what have you. But along with staying away from those, we want to also fuel our body and our brains optimally. That's why we want to do our omega-3s and also
Coconut
things
milk,
like
right, or coconut
milk
oil.
and coconut oil. And coconut oil has gotten a bad rap through the years, but now there's research, and you can go on YouTube and find clips where they're saying that it actually reverses Alzheimer's, which is a major issue as we age here in America. And we want to be mindful of simple foods that are dynamic, that can help us not only stay healthy, but regain our health.
Absolutely, I believe it. And another thing I loved about your book is you had exercises in there that you can do lying down or at your desk at work. I mean, come on,
Yes,
people. There is
yes.
no excuse not to do this.
Like I said, I like to meet people where they are. And, everybody lies down.
Right.
We got to rest at some point.
Unless you're a
And
vampire. You hang upside down.
hopefully
But you
that's
can
not
do the exercises then too.
Definitely, because basically they're breathing exercises. We don't really analyze it in this culture, breathing as an exercise, but it's the primary exercise. And so when you enhance that with movement, you really enhance your health dynamically and what have you, and you can really tighten up the core, because what happens over time with the accumulation of waste is our stomachs get distended, which creates more room for waste to accumulate. But then when you're doing these breathing exercises that works the core, it really keeps that waste from accumulating, and it begins to bring those muscles, to tone those muscles and bring them back into alignment and strengthen them, and then thereby eliminating space for waste accumulation.
Absolutely. And if none of this has convinced you, none of this talk of Alzheimer's or disease or waste, getting rid of waste, let me show you his abs. You have got to show our viewers at home. I'm telling you, this will.
Okay, I'm
sold. Okay, how amazing are those rock solid abs? And they do tricks? Are you kidding me? How awesome is that? I've got to admit, I tried that on the way here.
Okay, so much for that.
I tried that in the mirror this morning before I came here.
Believe it or not, I can teach you to do that within maybe 2 weeks.
I'm not doing that on the show, though.
But it's okay for me, okay?
That's right.
Put me on the spot, no problem. Well, thank you for the opportunity to actually share that, because that is really, when it comes to yoga and all these practices, they consider that to be a very high level of practice, but it really isn't that difficult. And what I call it is the ultimate internal fitness exercise, because it massages the internal organs to squeeze out waste and to bring more oxygen in to enliven them so that they do their job so phenomenally well. And, you know, it gets people to
pay attention.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just how in touch you are with every muscle in your body and the way you fuel your body is, I'm just sold. I can't wait to read through your book and put these practices to use in my own life. And if people want to get a hold of you, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, you can get me on my website, www.internalfitnesstrainer.com, or you can call me, 240-848-5448.
Well, thank you so much. I really am so excited and can't wait to go home and show off my new ab skills in 2 weeks. My husband will thank you.
Oh, cool.
And if you want to see previous episodes of our show or get upcoming information, then you can go to www.healthyfoodhappyyou.com. We're going to dig into this delicious food.
Finally.
Yes, I've been waiting for this. Smells so good. And we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.